Hello from Slider and hello from Weaves. What's up folks? In the last vid I showed you guys how onSaveInstanceState and onRestoreInstanceState methods are called within the life cycle of your activity, remember? So in this vid I'm gonna build upon what I already talked about, and I'm gonna show you how to use those methods to actually save information. So that being said, if you guys remember, your activity object is always held in the memory when the app is paused or destroyed, unless your system actually has no memory left to save the activity, right? So that being said, whenever your activity is paused, your onSaveInstanceState is called to save information. Now remember, as I mentioned already, there are two types of information. One is the database one, and other is something which you temporarily need. For example, if you're playing Temple Run on your Android app, you need to keep a track of the score, right? Just because you rotate the device, the score doesn't become zero, does it? So in those cases, those kinds of information that you need only when your app is running are stored and saved inside your onSaveInstanceState method. So how do you actually save it? Well, your onSaveInstanceState has this parameter called bundle. Now Android operating system gives you this variable bundle, which is actually just a map. If you guys remember the map data structure in basic Java or C or C++, you give it a key and you give it a value, and you put the information like that, and then to get the information you just give the key and it gives you the value, right? You have methods like out.put int, put string, put char, put blah blah blah. We'll see in Eclipse how these methods are, but for now all you need to remember is out.put something. Those are the methods which you have for saving information inside your onSaveInstanceState method. So this is one part of the discussion. Again, there is something you guys should remember. Always call super.onSaveInstanceState. Now if you remember the last presentation, I had an edit text, right, and I gave it an ID saying ID/text, and that is when your information was actually saved automatically, right? So all that part of saving information automatically is done inside your super class method onSaveInstanceState. So be sure to call it, otherwise your view data won't be saved. So that being said, let me go to the other thing. Back button, you save information, but you cannot restore information with the back button is pressed, because your activity is actually finished. The Android operating system assumes that your activity is not needed anymore. You have your onRestoreInstanceState method. If you guys remember, once your activity is destroyed and created back, your onRestoreInstanceState is called. Now one thing you guys need to remember, have you seen the onCreate method closely? There is a bundle parameter inside the onCreate method. If you guys remember, the same bundle is passed to your onRestoreInstanceState, which means you can either use the onCreate method to get the data back, or you can use the onRestoreInstanceState to get the data back. So all these days, if you guys were wondering why you have the bundle parameter inside onCreate method, this is the reason why, because both that it is used to restore the information back. I will show you in Eclipse how that works, but for now you can hear this is what you need to remember. Again, your onRestoreInstanceState gets the same bundle. Now this is the bundle containing the information which you already saved. Remember that. You just need to get that information out by saying in.get int, string, boolean, whatever, right? And again, super.onRestoreInstanceState, remember, just the way you restore your information back, the same way Android also needs to restore the information from edit text, button, text view, blah blah blah. So that being said, onRestoreInstanceState, you need to make sure that you call the super class implementation of that. And remember, cannot restore state after a back button is pressed. So let me actually go into Eclipse and show you guys a real working demo of this. So here inside my Eclipse, I have my Android developer tools. Basically, I have a simple app which says hello world. There's nothing great about this. This is the default code. I have not written a single word inside this, alright. Whatever has been done is already done. So that being said, I'm gonna go to my source file over here. Again, here there is nothing. I can remove this menu, alright. So that being said, first let's actually decide what to do. We need to store some information each time the user sees the app. What we want to do is we want to show how many times the user has actually seen the app. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a counter variable 0. Each time the user sees your app, this counter should increase, and you should have a log message saying 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or whatever. Alright. Now if you guys remember, when does the user see the app? The user sees the app when your onResume method is called. So that being said, I'm gonna go here and overwrite onResume, control space, right? So you can avoid the task of writing everything. And here I have my onResume, right? So inside this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna increase my counter by saying counter plus plus. Each time onResume is called, this counter will increase, right? And now whenever my activity is paused, right? I need to save that information. For that I'm gonna say on save instance state, control space again for having the auto complete. So this bundle out state, this is the map, or you can say the bag inside which I should put my information. So I'm gonna say out state dot put int. I'll call the value key as counter, and I'll put the value inside as counter. Alright, I'm just giving this a name, calling counter, and this is the actual value which I'm saving inside this map. So whenever my onSaveInstanceState is called, this value is going to be saved, that the counter value. Now whenever my activity is destroyed and created back, if you guys remember, on restore instance state gets called. So I'm gonna go ahead and override that again, saying control space on restore instance state. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna simply get that information out. If you remember, this bundle which you have here is actually the information contained inside, right? So I'm gonna say saved instance state dot get, and I'm gonna give the same counter over here, right? And that is gonna give me back my integer, so which I can say over here by saying int value, something like this, or I can actually say counter itself. No need for int value, I can say counter equals to this. So whenever I save my value, it's actually saved instance state dot get int. That should do the perfect trick. So whenever I'm saving my value, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a log statement over here by saying log dot d, and I'm gonna give a tag called vivs, and I'm gonna say the message as counter, and I'm gonna say was saved. Alright, the same thing I'm gonna copy paste, and when I'm restoring my values over here, I'm gonna say counter was restored. So let's basically see what we have done. We have a counter is 0. Alright, each time our app is visible to the user inside on resume, we are increasing the counter. Each time our activity is about to be after pausing it, we are saving the activity data. This counter variable is saved inside this bundle object, and we are logging that, right? That means we are going to see these messages over here inside the log cat, and here I'm restoring the value back, right? So let me actually run this by selecting this over here and clicking run on it. Android application, okay. So now as you guys can see, our app has started, right? So if we actually go to the home screen, if you remember, pause will be called, on save instance state will be called, right? So that being said, let's take a look. It says 1 was saved, that is, you remember, on resume we increase the counter by 1. Again I go inside my app over here, inside the app widget section. I start my app by saying demo with states. That's 2 times because on resume has increased now, right? So let me actually rotate the screen by saying control F11. Now if you remember, 2 was saved, and again 2 was restored. Remember, because your activity was destroyed, and after destruction on restore instance state is called, and hence the value 2 will be restored over here by saying out state here inside this part where we say outstate.get int, the value 2 which is already passed inside this will be restored, right? So but remember one thing, if you press the back button everything is screwed. So if you press the back over here and we are dead. So now if I click on my app demo with states, after my back button was pressed, if you go back here, the app has started, right? If I go to my home screen now, take a look, it says 1 was saved. It was not 2 which was saved, because if you remember, it went back all the way to 0, and inside on resume it went by saying counter plus to 1, and then here actually 1 was saved. That means whenever you press the back button, your information cannot be restored. So I hope you guys have understood something out of this vid. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, there will be more vids on Android. I'll catch you guys later. Have a nice day.